the marble floors. Of the St. Martin Hotel whispered under polished shoes, the kind worn by those who walked with quiet power. The air was warm with the scent of polished wood, faint cologne, and fresh lilies from the arrangement in the lobby. Everything was clean, precise, and expensive. Up on the 12th floor, Anna moved from room to room in her uniform, a crisp blue dress with white trim, yellow cleaning gloves hugging her hands. She had worked in hotels before, but never one like in this. Here, the light switches were gold-toned, and the beds were made of clouds. Anna didn't mind the quiet work. She preferred it, actually. It gave her time to think, to breathe. She always worked with care, smoothing every wrinkle from the bedspread, aligning the toiletries just so. Guests rarely noticed these small touches, but to her, they mattered. She had only been in the city for 7 months. Rotterdam had become too cold. Not just the weather, but life. Her mother's passing, the debts, the distance between her and the rest of her family. So when a friend told her there were job openings in a luxury hotel in Chicago, she packed what she had and left. It was supposed to be temporary, just a year, maybe 2. On this particular day, Anna was in room 1206. She was changing the pillowcases. When her phone buzzed inside her apron, she hesitated. Personal calls weren't allowed during work hours, but the name on the screen made her pause. Her little brother, Joris. She hadn't heard from him in weeks. With a quiet glance around, she pressed the phone to her ear and answered, her voice soft and slightly trembling. "Hello, Joris. Alles goed." She spoke quickly, automatically in Dutch, a stream of familiar words, concerned and tender. He was fine, he said, just lonely. He missed her. The dog had run away but came back. Their neighbor had passed away, and he wasn't sure how to feel. Anna listened, her eyes softening. She turned her back to the room's entrance, lost in the voice from home. She didn't see the man in the tailored black suit standing just behind her. His name was Daniel Marks, a businessman, one of the hotel's regular guests. Known for his calm demeanor and guarded nature, he rarely spoke to anyone unless necessary, always polite, always distant. Today, Daniel had returned early from a meeting. He was surprised to find someone still in his room. But he stopped short when he heard the sound of her voice. Not the words, he didn't speak Dutch, but the tone. It was gentle, full of concern. There was something musical about it, even though the language was unfamiliar. He watched her for a moment longer, then stepped forward lightly. Anna turned, startled. Her eyes widened. "I'm sorry, sir," she said quickly, switching to English. "I'll finish up right away." Daniel raised his hand. "It's all right," he said. "You speak Dutch?" She nodded, apologetic. "Yes, just a call from my brother. I didn't mean to disturb—" "No," he said quietly. "You didn't disturb me." There was a pause, just a moment. He looked at her, really looked, not as someone who was part of the background, but as someone he hadn't noticed before. Someone human. Anna gave a small, polite smile and bowed her head slightly, stepping aside. She finished the last corner of the bed and excused herself, wheeling her cart into the hall. Daniel stood in the center of the room for a long time after she left, thinking about the sound of her voice. The next morning, Anna was called to the staff office. She walked in, heart pounding, thinking she was in trouble for the phone call, but the supervisor, Mrs. Landry, looked up with an odd expression. "Anna, Mr. Marks has requested you personally to clean his room this week." Anna blinked. "He did?" Mrs. Landry nodded. "He said you were kind, discreet. He was impressed. That doesn't happen often." That day, Anna returned to room 1206 with fresh linens and a very different sense of nervousness. Daniel was sitting at the small desk, reading something on his tablet. He looked up when she entered. "Good morning, Anna," he said, using her name for the first time. She smiled, unsure. "Good morning, Mr. Marks." He closed the tablet. "I was wondering," he said slowly, "what part of the Netherlands are you from?" She paused, surprised by the question. "Rotterdam," she said softly. Well, just outside of it, in a small town, near the river. He nodded, as if that made perfect sense. I visited once, years ago, he said, for a meeting in Amsterdam. But I remember the trains, the quiet countryside. Anna smiled. It's different here. Yes, he agreed. Very. For some reason, the silence that followed wasn't uncomfortable. Daniel stood, adjusting his cufflinks. Would you join me for coffee in the lounge downstairs, when your shift ends? Anna blinked. Me? He nodded. If that's all right. She hesitated. She had never been asked anything like that before, not by someone like him. Okay, she said quietly. I'd like that. That evening, they sat in the quiet lounge, where the lighting was soft and the coffee was strong. They talked for an hour. Anna told him about her family, about her brother, and why she had come to the US. Daniel listened closely, asking thoughtful questions. In turn, he spoke about his work, his long hours, and his travels. But he rarely spoke of home. When Anna asked where he was from, he simply said too many places, but she noticed something in his expression when he spoke, a kind of loneliness that matched her own. From then on, whenever Daniel was at the hotel, he asked for Anna's service. Sometimes he would be in the room, sometimes not, but he always left a note. Once, it was a thank you, written on a hotel notepad. Another time, it was a small tulip pin, a reminder of home, the note said, and then a few weeks later he was gone. No checkout, no goodbye, just gone. Anna went back to her routine, cleaning rooms, folding sheets, answering calls from Joris and sending money home. But every time she passed room 1206, she looked at the door a little longer than the others. Months passed. Then, one afternoon, Mrs. Landry found her again. Anna, she said, handing her an envelope. This came for you. Anna opened it slowly. Inside was a handwritten note. Dear Anna, I hope this finds you well. I've recently purchased a property just outside the city. A quiet place with a garden. I remember you saying how much you miss the river and the quiet. I'm looking for someone trustworthy to help me manage the house, someone who cares about the little things, someone like you. If you're interested, a car will be waiting for you this Saturday. Anna sat down slowly. Her hands trembled, just slightly as she read the letter again. That Saturday the car arrived. Black and polished, driven by a kind older man who tipped his hat. They drove for nearly an hour, away from the tall buildings and into the gentle rolling hills beyond. The city. Trees lined the road, the sky opened up. When they pulled up to the house, Anna stared. It was beautiful, not huge but elegant. With wide windows and a small pond out back, Daniel stood at the door, his hands in his pockets. Welcome, he said quietly. Anna stepped out of the car. Is this real? She asked. He smiled, just a little. I'm not offering you a fairy tale, he said. Just a chance, a new chapter, if you want it. Anna looked at him, then at the house, then back again. And for the first time in a long time, she didn't feel like she had to protect herself. She didn't feel invisible. She felt seen. She nodded. I'd like that. The end.